Hey, mate.
John boy, we back on?
We are back on.
I ain't gone far, have we?
No. Mid-January.
Yep.
I've not... January blues, no, it's not been a thing for me,
Not hit
Jim.
yet?
No, it's not been a thing. It's like, I stepped into 2025
Freshmans.
like the hot stepper. You know that song?
Yeah.
And that was me.
I got the hots for
I'm
you.
lyrical gangster.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Right,
into
okay.
2025. That's how I stepped in, and I've not looked back.
Right, okay.
I'm full of energy. I'm ready to go.
I'm the opposite.
Oh, yeah?
It was hard work for me.
Yeah.
I had a proper, as we spoke about in the last pod, it was like, first day. I don't like to call it work. This isn't work, but first day at it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At the ass and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. But,
Got to ease your way out.
yeah.
Ease your way out like a
I
sleepy
just
bear.
love my home. I love my home.
A
girl.
sleepy bear coming out of
It
hibernation.
was hard.
Yeah.
Coming out of that nice cotton wool,
Yeah.
fluffy place
Plotted.
into the hard grit of
Yeah.
London.
That's it.
But
Into
into the pea soup.
Into a pea super.
But it's all right, we're here.
As a Dickensian producer rides past on a penny farthing, putting out the lights on a night. What do they call those people who put the lights out? Have we done this?
The
Lamp lighters.
lamp dampeners.
That's good.
It's good, isn't it?
Is it lamp dampeners? I mean, if it's not, it should be.
What a name of a firm, though. Like, what a name of a...
Oh, no, it's the
singing
lamp
group.
dampeners.
The singing group. Lamp dampeners.
Yeah.
The lamp dampers.
It's like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, good.
They're like they. Do they?
I trusted the Kensian to mock it.
Anyway, yes, Severance Series 2 has started. Has anyone watched any of it yet?
What's it called?
You haven't? Severance.
Is it good?
Yeah,
What's
it's
it
on Apple.
Ah,
It's on Apple.
go on. Tell me what it's about roughly.
Well,
Can you?
Can I? I've not started season 2 yet. The premise is, as a guy, and he sort of lives in a sort of parallel universe. So what happens is, when he goes into work, he basically clicks in, and something happens within him that all he remembers is work. He doesn't remember his home life.
Right.
And then when he checks out, he doesn't remember his work life.
Oh,
so
that's a nice way to live.
so it's
I like
it's
the
kind of sort of playing on that work-life balance thing, taking it to extremes.
Good, yeah.
Really good, and it's shot really futuristically. And I tell you what I watched the other day that I haven't seen. Sorry, we're going into films. Ex Machina. Is it called Ex Machina? Is it Ex Machina? He's laughing at me. He's going Machina. Say that. He was going. It's Machina, mate. Yeah, Ex Machina.
Good, is it?
Yeah.
What's that about? See it.
But it's not though, because that's what happened with me. I was like, oh, it's science
give it
fiction.
time.
It's science fiction. It's
Apple
not.
are producing a lot.
It's
then,
not. No,
aren't
that's
they?
not. This is an old film.
Oh, right.
This is an old film. It's got Domhnall Gleeson. Have I pronounced his name right? Yeah, thank you. Domhnall Gleeson, who was also in Peter Rabbit, amongst other things. He's a very good actor. Ginger hair, Irish guy. You'd know him if you saw him. But it's brilliant. I'd recommend it. And it's not, as I thought, assumed it was a sci-fi
Yes,
type of
that's what
thing.
I'm scared to go into.
It's not. It's good.
It's
really
also
good.
another film on Apple, and it's about detectives, MI5. Slow Horses. That's meant to be unbelievable.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yeah. Have you seen it?
Haven't seen it, but I've heard
I'm
great
watching
things.
that tonight.
All right.
We'll have a little chat about that on the next pod.
Give us a 2. Give us a tinkle on the old...
I will. I'll let you know.
Text me, and then when Kate says, who's texting you? You're texting. I go, Jimmy.
Jim. Yeah.
Right. An apology. An apology
Go on. What for?
to our listeners and our viewers, because they have been inundating us with literally several emails and texts asking questions, the usual sort of stuff.
Right.
But we've not been
That's down to
we've not been
back rooms.
we've not been as present maybe.
Okay. But we're here now.
We're here now.
We're in now
and
for
we're
225 for you, 2025.
and we're here for you. And so we
2025 sounds futuristic in itself, doesn't it?
what 2025?
2025.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That sounds. I remember watching films years ago, and they used to make films of 225, 230. Once it hits 2030, that's the one where I'll go. Oh.
What about Prince said it's going to party like it's 1999? That sounded like it was.
What cars about?
Ages away, didn't it? We've got. There's no particular order here. It's quite random. We were chatting about darts last week.
Yep. Little magic.
And we didn't get to chatting about this, but this relates to people thinking they could take up darts. Right. There's a lot of chat going around on this sort of thing. It's like anything, isn't it? People see it and they think, I could do that. Yeah. You know, look at Premier League footballers. You could do that. You could play in Premier League. So here's one to start. Ben, he does a bit on the socials for FC Bullard. Big yourself up, Ben. Yeah. And YouTube. He thinks, Jim, that he could score twice for Manchester City if he played 90 minutes in every game for a Premier League season. What do we think about this claim?
Ben half tidy.
For context, it's important to note they would be the worst goals of the season, both tap-ins, bundles. Okay. Now, what he's tried to do there, he's tried to give himself a little sort of caveat, hasn't he? Yeah. But
I like it though. I do like these questions. I've seen a lot of them lately.
Yeah, he.
Do you know what though? I think
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Nah.
I think the team is so good.
Yeah.
The thing I'm worried about who he comes up against, the players he's coming up against will stop him. I get what you're all saying. But
see, I'm surprised with you saying that. And
I know you are.
I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
Right. You can't carry a player in a Premier League.
I know.
You can't carry. If you get a man sent off, then
but all that dismissed. I'm not taking in. Can you carry a player? I'm just saying if
fitness levels, right? Fitness levels. Yeah. He's not going to be anywhere near the mark. So, guess what? What's the little fella? Portuguese, plays for Man City. Brilliant. Bernardo Silva, yeah. He gets the ball, goes on a bit of a maze up, little 1-2 with Phil Foden, pops it off to De Bruyne. Yeah. De Bruyne drops it in. Haaland.
Stop you there.
No, I've not finished yet. Haaland's back post, heads it back across the box. Where's our mate Ben? He's breathing out of his arse, 40 yards away from goal because there's been a couple of phases of play and he's not involved. He's nowhere near it, and he doesn't need to touch the ball.
But if Ben's got half a clue and he stands centre of the goal, and this bet is all he ever wanted was to score 2 goals in the whole season, I think playing with them players, there will come a point where, as you said, Bernardo Silva's coming one-on-one, gives it to Haaland, Ben just peels off, he slots it to in between, all he's got to beat is the keeper. I believe, or the ball flicks on Haaland, the right back becomes looking at something else, Ben's on the fast stick tapping. That happens.
Yeah. That
happens. I really feel that happens. Am I doing a disjustice to all the football? But then what I would say, the other strikers are scoring 30, 40, 50 a season for City. Haaland. So 2. He's not saying like that. He's saying, I'm like Haaland. He's just saying, give me a chance and I will score 2. Yeah, but your nodding is really pissing me off. Because you're nodding, right? Yeah, you're going like that. I'm telling you now, it could happen.
How many would Fenners score?
He's got a chance of scoring a couple. Why? Do you not think you're...
No. Well...
2 seasons in 40-odd games. 2 goals in 40-odd games. Playing for the best team in the league. They're making for you. They're not going to make you score 20, 30, granted, like Haaland. 2, got penalties? There's penalties there. They're going to get 10 a season.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
You're going to go, can he score against... I'm telling you, if it all depends what level he's... Say he's like non-leaguey level, couple under the comp. Like, is he
I've never seen him play.
Yeah, that's why it's hard.
If I was on penalties,
Let's do Fenners.
if I was on
Oh,
penalties,
you'd shit your
No,
pants.
all right.
You'd shit your
so
pants.
so I actually did this when Anthony Amy was in goal at Fulham.
Yeah,
I went down to the training ground
yeah.
and took 10 penalties
How many did you score? Let me
against
guess.
Anthony Amy.
You scored 4,
No,
3,
no,
2, 6, 1, none.
9.
You scored 9.
Yeah,
That's all.
we filmed it, but we never used it. No, we
That's
didn't.
brilliant.
No, we filmed it. We never used it.
You're trying to think where it went out.
No, it didn't go out.
Have you still got it?
No, I haven't got it. I think I've got
You've got to get it.
Because what happens? I did it. I was just so I wasn't like.
That's brilliant.
I
Was
just
I
went.
there?
I
I
just
was there with Amy. Where was I?
don't know. Because
Must have been before.
thing is, I didn't go down and I wasn't like, oh, I'm presenting and doing it all that. I just went down and took the penalties.
Brilliant.
So like Tim watched him and he went, oh, we're not showing that because it's like, it's just a bit boring because you're not like presenting it or doing anything between.
Did he have a point?
No, I think he was just jealous of the fact that I'd smashed 9 penalties in.
That's brilliant. Oh, class.
So, but no, yeah, it was so it would have been a nice bit of TV for me probably, but for the viewers, it
That's
probably wouldn't have worked. But yeah, I think it was 9.
Oh,
was-
hold up a minute. 8 or 9.
It was it was definitely high.
Name he had a bad shoulder.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He just come
Broke his
a
arm.
broken finger. Yeah.
But me and Fenwar want to know, how many goals do you think you, as in you, could score playing for Man City?
This is from Hayley. Hi, Hayley.
All right, Hayes.
Hi, lads. I've been enjoying hearing you two speak to the unsung heroes of football clubs. My question is, if you could pick any role at a football club, what would you choose? President and director of football excluded. Ooh, what do you think, Jim?
Going route 1, assistant manager. I think that's your second close to the players.
Yeah.
That's why I would choose that. You're right in amongst them. But a role that I'd always like, and I've always been at a soft spot for, is kitman.
Kitman, yeah.
Just around the kit and the boot. I've just always been around, even outside graft.
What I would like is it would be the job that had the most involvement, the most fun, but the least pressure.
What role?
I don't know.
I'll tell you, I think a pucker role for you would be.
What? Don't say mascot.
No. They have it, I think it's Udinese. You know, the goal.
Oh,
You'd
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
awesome at that on the 10, eh?
Like
Imagine him doing the goals.
What on the like
Just make your own chats up.
with the ultras and all that?
Oh, mate, you'd be the nuts at that. That'd be right up your stride.
Get me a Wembley doing the Tommy Tuchel song. Super Tuchel, lights are gonna find me shining like a Super Tuchel, shining in heaven. Super Tuchel, England's in number one.
That could go off massively. Honestly, I think that could be.
It could go one of two ways. There is that, yeah. The reason I said that about a job where you're in the thick of it, but there's no pressure. So
Was that that song? Was that ABBA?
ABBA, yeah.
Swedes would be all over you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, imagine if we get Sweden, they'd be like,
"Whoa, that's our song."
Well, it's not though, is it?
The ABBA were Swedish, weren't they?
They were, but it's not.
Anyway,
the bobsleigh. Is it like is there a 4-man bob or is it 3-man bobsleigh? It's like the one in the middle.
Yeah,
does nothing.
He does though.
They just sit there. Let's sit there because he can't. Like,
surely he's got to lean.
You can't. Well, you maybe. But you
little
can't,
bit.
It's
He's
not,
wedged.
You're not like you're just
like,
there. So you're just like, what a touch. As long as you don't crash, it's like you're just sitting there. Like,
so you're saying you
all
think you
snugged
could
in.
do that?
Well, no, that's the sort of gig that I would want, where you're having as much fun as everyone else, but you're not.
That's like
There's no
saying I'll be
pressure.
the
'cause it's
flight
like,
on the end of a dart.
What my fault? What my fault? I couldn't. Yeah.
That's like you saying I'll be a flight on the end of a dart.
Yeah.
Just
but
a
it's
thing.
Like, yeah.
There's a
Brakeman. A pilot. 2 crewmen/pushers. So the one who's in the pilot. Yeah. Apparently, I don't know. I heard that on the radio the other day, and I thought maybe that says something about my sort of desire to achieve things in life. Really,
They're all saying as well that talk between a hole-in-one, 147, and a 180.
right?
Now,
Let's nail this now.
I will nail this.
Yeah,
The hardest one out of all of them is a 147. Let's just please don't even comment on that. The 147 takes so much skill, and there's less. It's just not possible.
no,
The hole-in-one I feel is possible. I think is the one that can happen because
you see it happen.
you've seen it happen, and I've seen choppers getting hole-in-one.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
But I don't see choppers getting 180s.
No,
The 180 is the second one, even though it's really hard. A 9 dart finish, not a 180. Is it a 9 dart finish?
yeah, 9 dart finish.
9 dart finish, not a 180. Sorry, I'd even say a 180 is equivalent to an hole-in-one.
Yeah, have you had a 180?
Yeah, I've had a
180.
I've had a few 180s, but I've had one hole-in-one. So I'd say
I reckon, but you've not had a 147, have you?
no.
No. Your case in point, and your sport bully. So that is a case in point. I think
Look how frequent it happens.
darts is a closed skill, yeah? So you have open skills and you have closed skills. So with golf, there's a lot of different shots you play in golf and different circumstances where you're throwing darts. So you're the same distance every time. You're throwing at the same dart board.
Yeah.
You're throwing with the same dart. So if you groove that technique, you've got you can have a better chance. Practice makes permanent.
Yeah.
So snooker, you could say you're doing the same, but if someone breaks off, then you are in control unless you break off and you sink the pot. But the balls can go anywhere. You can't control where the balls go. Whereas with darts, it's a much more controlled environment, I think.
And I'll break it down why it is in that order. Golf, darts, snooker. The reason why it's in that order is because of consistency in sport. The best players in football, the best players in the world, best sporting athletes in the world, they do it consistently. Snooker, it takes so many shots to do that. Darts, it's a 9 dart. The golf is one shot.
Yeah.
So when you have to do it less,
Yeah.
one shot in golf, of course it can be done once. A 9 dart, 147. That's why.
Yeah.
It's a one shot. That's why the golf's easier, because you can fluke one shot.
Yeah.
You can't. It's less easy to fluke a 9 darter.
Yeah.
It's even less. It's even harder to fluke a 147.
Of course it is.
So I've answered that question. I've cleared it up.
Good.
I thank you, sir.
What's your icebreaker, snooker?
102. People question me on that when I went on Endry's podcast. Endry, thank you. I do numbers.
I saw that.
He was with me the other day. 1 million views. I went, I do numbers. He still owes me for that. Anyway, I had a 102. You know, I went on there and all his viewers absolutely buried me. Jim's never had a 102. And I'm like, why would I lie about that? Like,
If you're going to lie, you'd say you'd have a 147, wouldn't you?
well, not too much, or 128 or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You'd like... Anyway, jobs. Stadium announcer.
Stadium announcers are good. And I would actually like to be stadium announcer. And here they come. Number 1, John Fenley. Number 2 is Rob the Dickensian. Number 6, wearing the armband, is the Bulldog.
Number 6.
It'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Josh.
And he scores on the back post. It's Jimmy Bullard. And all the fans go
Good. You've got the thing in that you
got it.
Yeah. Bit more Route 1, this one from Josh. Hi, boys. Currently on a podcast binge from the start of the pod and loving hearing classic football stories. Did have a serious question, though. You come to the right place, mate. Who was the most mental player you've ever played with and why? Keep up the good work. Josh. Who was the one, Jim, for you?
Trying to think. Michael Flynn. Flinny was nuts. He was my roomie, Welsh boy. We're in the championship, or first division, going up in the champ. And we're like an old school 4-4-2. Paul Jewell's all about that. Old school, right, do your jobs. Flynn's coming amongst all the players. He's like, where do you play then, Flynn? Where? Number 10. I'm the number 10. Everyone's looking at him going, I ain't even fucking 10. Like, he would always go one step too far.
Yeah.
And it was just, he was mustard.
Was he doing it for like, just
He
mucking
talked
about?
like this.
Oh, yeah.
He talked like this. One game, here's my roomie, right? So, always remember it's away at Notts County. And the gaffer put him in centre midfield. And he dropped me. So it's Flinny's big chance. Even though he's my roomie, this is the mad thing at football. He's trying my shirt and I'm trying to get his shirt. And he's a good player, Flinny. He's really underestimated. Like, he was quality, strong. Do you know what I mean? People underestimated his strengths. I didn't, because I knew what sort of player he was. And he had plenty of that. Do you know what I mean? And I always remember he was my roomie, and I thought, I've got to get him tonight. Because he used to always go out. He used to have a problem. He used to always wee a lot in the night. He used to wake me up. He used to drive me fucking mad. So he's gone out to wee, and I've hidden behind the wall. And as he's come out, I got a sheet over me. And went, he shit his pants, mate. 3 o'clock in the morning. That was night of the game. So and then I'm rolling around, bashing him up. Like he bashed me up because he had that serious strength. Yeah. It was like ridiculous. So that's my head trying to keep him up, so he has a shocker.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, kickoff comes. And to be fair, he had an absolute mare, right?
Right, did he?
Paul Jules, like, he's got to come up in a minute. Honestly. And he's come off and he's gone, Gaffer, my socks are too tight. What an excuse. And he's pointing at his socks. He's like, I'm telling you, these calves are fucking screaming. All the boys on the bench crying. Oh, Flinny.
That's cool.
We love you. He was just absolutely mustard. Absolutely mustard. He come off.
His socks are too tight.
I said, that is your big chance. He said, I've fucking blown it now. He was so good, Flinny. But he went on to manage Newport, got that to crack, done really well. Class.
What's he doing? Is he doing now?
Is he gaffer at Cheltenham now? I should know because he's a real good friend of mine. I talk to him all the time, but I don't bother asking him where
football.
they manage. No, we just talk about like old times. Yeah. But yeah, where was we? Sorry. So who was the nuttiest to go back? Michael Flynn was up there, all them. And I've got to say as well, when I was in the David Bentley, when I was in the England squad, I love Bentley. I want to get him on. I keep saying, he said he'd come to FC Bullard, but he is busy. He's got about 850 jobs. So, but we love Benz, don't we?
Club singer as well. Anyway, last one before an ad break. This is from Ryan in St Albans. Hi, Jimmy and Fenners. I need your help. A few weeks ago, for the first time since Power League, Monday Night Football was established in 2008, someone scored a header. We played no overhead height, so a headed goal has to come from a perfectly judged, lofted pass or lucky bobble, and must be met at the opportune moment by the receiver, heading down on the ball at the right moment before a foul's called. It was bedlam. The opposing team did protest for a moment, but they knew they'd witnessed a historical moment, and the goal stood. So, should the goal have stood?
Good question. It should if the ball's drilled in, hasn't gone over head height.
Yeah.
If the ball's gone over head height, absolutely, I think no goal.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Unless you've got a rule, if you score from your head, that counts. But usually, as soon as it's overhead, no head, it's a free kick to the opposition. But if it's drilled in below head height and you go down and head it, of course, I think it should count.
Yeah. I don't really...
It's good when Crouch is on your team.
I don't really see...
But I think where he's going from, the ball's been looped up, he said, so it has gone over head height, but he's saying, should it count because it's a goal? It ends in a goal, and that's the only time it should count. I think that's what he's getting at.
Right.
So, yeah, I do, but I'm an attacker.
Yeah.
If it's no overhead height, but you're scoring a header, that's sort of...
It's close to the mark, but I can still drill one in diving header.
Yeah. I mean...
Still drill one in that low, or
absolutely,
it's whipped in and boom, you're in. Do you get what I mean? You have to bend down sometimes to head the ball, but if you've jumped up and done it, it's a bit like that. But sometimes you have rules. No overhead height unless you score a header.
Yeah, but then...
So when the ball gets whipped, see, it allows crosses then. It allows crosses, and it's up to your defenders to defend. And once you defend, right, free kick. Do you get what I mean? But it still allows you to score a header.
Yeah, but you're talking about training there, aren't you? Like, this is Power League.
Well, you can still have your own rules, though,
but you suppose you do what you want. But if you're overhead height, you're overhead height, aren't you? If you're looping one in, I'd be going, you're overhead height, so I'd sort of stop playing. It's free kick.
But if you drilled it in low and then did it, I'm with you.
What I'd say is, if you score with your head, a goal like that, 2 goals.
Yeah, it's John Boy.
That's what I'm about.
That's what we're
Incentivise positivity. Let's reward Let's reward.
Entertainment.
It's all about entertainment. If you have any Sunday League, Power League stories, can you tell I'm reading? If you have any Sunday League, Power League stories or incidents you want to discuss, we can be your VAR. Like that.
Why don't we?
We are VAR. Said
We are VAR.
Come on.
Tommy Tuchel. Tommy Tuchel. I forgot the tune.
It works for any ABBA song. Tommy Tukes. I was living
Tommy Tukes.
Tommy to love me forevermore.
Tommy Tukes. I like that.
It's time for an ad break.
All right.
Enjoy the ads. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's what Richard Madeley used to do on.
Welcome back.
What was the show he used to do?
Oh, Good Morning.
This morning.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Right. Welcome back to FC Bullard. This is part 2 of arguably the best podcast we have done this week. This isn't a question, Jim. But it's a nice email from Marlon. As you can tell, I haven't read these. I'm reading them for the first time. So apologies for my the way in which I articulate them. But I think it's quite nice for me to do them live rather than already knowing them. And so everything here is a natural reaction. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just want to say, loving the podcast. After going back and listening to earlier episodes of the podcast, I came across the grounds episode and loved hearing John talk about going to the old athletic ground in Scarborough. My son... I've got a Bramcote story for you. My son has just been taken on by Scarborough Athletic Academy setup. Yes, it's not one of the big team academies, but we're both extremely proud of his achievement. And his team did beat Leeds United development team pre-season, so they're not a bad outfit. Fair play. As good as this is, we know there's only one academy he wants to be a part of, and that's, of course, FC Bullard's academy. He would love to be the first player to be in the academy and would love a shout-out on the pod. Keep up the good work, making my days at work bearable. The club's growing each week, and we know one day it will be the club of all clubs. From Marlon and Corey.
She's dad and the son.
His son, Corey.
I love that.
So, Corey, you know what? I'm saying, let's get him a shirt.
Yeah.
And
that's class, though, isn't it?
Yeah, let's need to know
what.
what.
Call that a letter?
That's an email.
What a lovely email.
January transfer windows in full swing. Question from Ryan Smith on Insta for Jimmy. That's you. Yeah. How do other players feel when a player is looking for a move?
It's a good question. Happened a lot, but you sort of. Do you know what? As players, I think you're taught respect as well for your other peers. So out of respect, I'd only tell my closest as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If I knew. But to be fair, even back when I was playing, all my moves didn't really know anyway. No. They sort of happened. Yeah. Sometimes before the Fulham one happened really quick for me. The Peterborough to Wigan, Baz called me in and Paul Jewell was on the phone. Have I told you that story? Yeah. I told you that one. So my moves happened probably quicker. The club knew before me. Yeah. And it was done, to be honest. And that usually was the way. Yeah. And if the player did know he was on a move, wanted a move, you wouldn't brand it around anyway. No. Because your agent would say, look, if you brand it too much, you won't get the move. So wind your neck in. So it didn't happen a lot, but if it did, it's your close one saying, look, mate, it is what it is.
Of course it is. And if it's your mate, you want what's best for your mate. If it's your mate's teammate, and it's like, if it's not, if there's generally a reason why someone wants to move, or if they're not playing, or whatever. If everything's rosy in the garden, then it's they don't go, do they?
I think I tweeted this the other week or Instagrammed it. Players talk, mate, and it's been going on for so long now. Like players, don't get me wrong. Apart from the big contracts, clubs can still hinder players and vice versa, right? And the players wear the boots, so they are gonna finally get the final say now, especially now. Yeah. They're the power play. Do you get what I mean? So I haven't got no problem with player doing what he needs to do. Yeah. I'll sit well in the players' union. I've always been that. And for fans say, well, he shouldn't treat our club like that. Well, hang on a minute. If you go back, I can go through every club from the top to the second division, from Premier League to second division. I can guarantee the club have mistreated a player. Yeah. I can guarantee that. And players talk. And it ain't two players go, well, look at the way he's been treated. I ain't trusting him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Why should I trust him?
Yeah.
not think Michael Preston's got friends? And go, look at the way he's trusting. The way Sterling went. They go, in it for themselves, of course. Don't take long.
James Collins asks, what was Jimmy's half-time ritual? Did you have one?
That's a good question. I used to come in, you sit down, you used to get my Lucasade drinks, used to refuel.
Yeah.
Was my first thing.
Drinks. So you'd have more than
Drinks.
one.
Yeah, like, depending on the time of the year. But it'd be drinks.
So, sorry, when you say drinks, are you talking
Fluids.
different types of drinks?
So that'd be fluids like electrolytes.
Right.
Some kind of powder.
Okay.
Electrolyte, whatever I need. There'd be different sachets there, but it was the
Right.
ones I needed.
And you would, and that
Be a
was sort of
flavoured-
sorted for you, like
Yeah,
they would.
I'd do it. I'd do it before I
Okay,
went out.
right.
Shake it. I put it in my bottle with the right amount. Leave it by my pegs.
Right,
That'd
okay.
all be there. I was quite set out.
And were most players like that?
I would say, yeah. I would say,
Yeah.
yeah. I would imagine, yeah, because I used to be big into that, and I used to always have a banana as well. So I'd have half before I went out, and I'd have half at half time.
Yeah.
I'd have a Jaffa cake or two, and maybe a wine gum if I was a bit flat. I used to hate flat lining.
Yeah.
It used to do me. Do you know what I mean? So I used to starve sugar for like 48 hours. I used to try and starve of it.
Right.
And then before I told you I had to go to the toilet to get rid
Yeah.
of me. That cleared me up. Half time was wine gums and just sort of like, to be fair, it's just like listening to the gaffer really, do you know what I mean, in there, and you just do your stuff. It weren't no music on and that. There ain't a lot you do half time really.
No.
The gaffer's doing the main talk. You don't get half times used to go like that.
So did you ever? I was going to say, did half time ever feel long?
No.
Like, do you always think I could have done with another 5 minutes there? Or?
Not for energy, because
No.
I was a quick recoverer, so not for energy, but it just seemed boom boom.
Yeah.
Time the gaffer had his nut do or whatever, whatever happened, it was like,
Must be very hard, I imagine, to take in information when you're coming off the pitch and you're tired and there's lots of things going around you, and you know.
that's why you get a lot of managers. That's why you get a lot of managers, and even if you look at Pep stuff, coming right, have you? It's only when he chucks his nut do, leave your drinks, boom, and then he talk.
Yeah.
But usually, the gaffer's slate
comes in a
being
bit.
clever.
Yeah.
They come in later.
Yeah.
Let them sit down. They'll have their bickering.
Yeah.
Have their drinks. Only a minute and a half, 2 minutes, then
Yeah.
it just boom.
Yeah.
Then it comes down.
And you've got the room then.
Then you got the room.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
time then. And also they see you entering.
Yeah.
Because they're almost waiting for you. Where's the gaffer?
Right.
And then you see you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, boom. Yeah, that's
It's
how it
interesting,
works.
because all these
There's a
things
bit of
they don't happen
psychology
by chance, do they? They're all
No, there's a bit of
thought
psychology
through.
there. But then I've seen the Pep. Sorry to touch on that. I've seen the Pep when he goes, right, leave your drinks. It really reminds me of, like, using an example of Paul Jewell used to come in and do that sometimes, like when a gaffer tears in and talks first, you're like,
Yeah.
right, here we go. And as an athlete, you sort of don't say nothing here.
No,
You
yeah.
got to wear anything
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
taking in. Do you know what I mean? Out of respect, one, and out of two, you could still be in the game or whatever. Do you get what I mean? But my head was always like, let him talk. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's the gaffer. Like, do you get what I mean? Because we're full of it, aren't we? Testosterone.
Yeah, yeah.
You could be having an argument here. That's a smaller picture.
Yeah.
He's looking at a bigger
Yeah.
picture. You've always got to. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, look, I put my foot in it a couple of times at half-time calls just because of the way I was. But knowing now, shouldn't have done it. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, it was good. Half-times were great. I loved them.
Great food-related question from Chris Urquhart. What flavour pie would FC Bullard be peddling to the punters?
Pucker pies from Wigan. Best pucker
great.
pies I had was at Wigan.
Yeah.
They were mustard, yeah. I used to have one often after the game, to be fair.
What flavour?
Just a normal meat. I don't think you have to mess around with, like, don't get too complicated.
No.
Just a normal lamb mince pucker pie. Maybe a bit of steak and kidney, maybe.
Steak and kidney.
Steak and kidney. Maybe a mint lamb pie. That's as far as I would go there. I do like a nice meat potato pie, though.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Bit
With
of
you on that,
potato, a nice wintry
Yeah.
pie. What other pies are there?
yeah. Minced beef and onion.
When I had my own show on London Live, I actually had the pie maker of the Arsenal had a pie shop right by their ground. I actually brought him on. So I'm introducing it, and we're live, and I'm the only one in the room, and I forgot his name. And we're going to a break, and I go, we'll be seeing, and I look, and I'm just like, oh. You know the worst, like the worst. Like
It's just
Fenners.
ice in your veins, isn't it?
I just went. What's your name? Like live. What's your name? Forgotten. I'm new to this. Sorry. We'll be back in a minute. Rob from the pie shop.
Is that when you rang me up? Do you remember that?
Did I shit my
No. I remember you were there in the afternoon. You were doing it, and then you were coming into Soccer M, and you were like, you walked out of a thing or something like that.
Oh
Remember?
yeah, mate. Honestly, I've had a few. I had a few sitting there, and I almost started crying. Voice though. Just hated, like horrible, horrid.
Do you know the worst feeling in the world for me is when you're interviewing someone, they're talking, right, and you know they've got like 3 seconds left of words, and you've
got
gone.
Nothing. Oh, you've got zilch. Do you know non-soccer around when that happened? Do you know what I'd do? Fenners was the governor, so there'd be like a guest there, and I'd go. Do you remember when I used to give you that? Mate, it used to happen everywhere. I used shit back. No, I used to do it all the
honestly,
time.
that
I had nothing.
It was the worst feeling in the world. And if someone else then piped up and got you out of jail, it was horrible. You feel like everything just goes cold. You just feel it running through your veins. It's just weird.
How many times that happened on Soccer Around when you just used to have to get yourself out of a hole?
I mean,
alive as well. It's horrendous.
It happened quite a lot.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's the nervous tension what drives you as
Yeah.
well. Do you get what I mean? That makes you.
I think if you're really relaxed and you're enjoying yourself, you'd probably just go.
You come out.
Do you know what? I've totally
probably
forgot.
when you're at your best.
You probably got. I just totally forgotten what I was going to ask you there. So
when you're
apologies for that. Yeah.
Do you remember that morning I couldn't talk and I had to apologise when I was just going. But. I said I don't know what's happened to me. I can't talk properly. I capitulated once. Like once, I just went into one. I don't know what it is. Just brilliant, innit?
Yeah. This is why this is good because we can say what we want and it gets edited and makes us
do a
sound
lot of
great.
editing here, do we?
Not really. I mean,
Keep listening.
yeah. One for Fenners from Ash Squires. People who wear matching boots to their club kits, rate or slate?
Matching boots. Yeah, it's big. We was.
I don't mind that. I mean, so if you were wearing...
But didn't we go... Sorry, so didn't we say once, don't try too hard because it don't look right? You know, if you're wearing a yellow and black kit and you got yellow and black boots, for me, I don't like that. But it don't bother you?
Not really. I mean...
It don't bother me. Sorry, I would never slate it, but I much rather... I used to wear Fulham, my best feel was... I used to Fulham kit, black and white, and I used to wear a pair of out-and-out red Addy Pures.
Yeah.
Didn't go to kit, but it was like...
Yeah.
Just...
Stand
the
out.
look, it was like, And I loved it when Zidane wore the French kit, but he had the gold Adidas Predator,
Yeah.
gold and white. There's no gold on his kit, but it's just like,
Yeah.
When you match it up, I don't think it looks as good. It looks a bit... But the matching up boots were... Do you remember the Ronaldo R9s? Nike Vapor with a blue and silver mercurial.
Oh,
and they were... That, if anyone's going to match, he can with that boot.
That was...
Do you remember that boot? He brought them back, I think, Mbappe, not long ago. There was like a remake.
Brilliant. I love those.
They were pure. When I do a boot room review, because I actually wore them at Gray's Inn and All Fleet.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
They were like a cartoon, weren't they? They were
Weren't they? All domey, weren't
brilliant.
They? They were well ahead of their time.
Really nice.
I'll tell you what, though, if you didn't gloss your picture, that's sticky. You used to dribble down the line of it. Go,
were they?
People be going over the ball. They were the stickiest boot in the
really?
world.
Yeah.
Because one bit was leather that went round, and the other bit was synthetic.
Okay.
So it just go, just grip on the ball like a bit of glue. But great for whippage,
Whippage. Oh, good.
Good.
So yeah, Ash, I don't slate that. I don't rate it. I'm sort of in between.
What about fashion though? Fashion, it like streetwear can be a bit.
Oh yeah.
Match up your footwear with your clobber. You're against that.
I'm not against it. I'm just like, I think if you're wearing like say a dark jacket, dark jeans, then you can go like big and expansive on your footwear, bright. But to go like,
If you've got a pink CP jumper with a black pair of jeans, you wearing pink shoes.
yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think
Get
sometimes
clashy.
it can. Sometimes it can work really well,
Right. Okay.
but I think sometimes it looks like you sort of
Try too hard.
yeah, and weird in a weird way. I do try too hard by not doing that. So you're you know what I mean?
Counteracting it. You're counter.
So it's almost like you want people to think that you just like
Got it together.
put that together, that
Coolness is a
outfit,
bit of
whereas
that.
like you've been
question.
up like
I like the
48 hours thinking about it.
Yeah.
Loads of people, including Samuel Kahn and Martin Woolley, they want an update on Fenners' golf game. Nothing really to update, although I have been offered some lessons from Ben Ross Golf. Thanks, Ben Ross Golf. So yeah, some lessons. So I'm
Brilliant.
when the sleet and snow subside,
It's ridiculous at the minute.
I'll be back out
It's
there.
so funny getting you on the golf course. It's the best ever.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Actually, I'm ready to go again.
It warms up.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot easier.
that's
I've got
it.
4 or 5 layers on, slopping it around in the mud. It
What
ain't easy.
my all stiff all joints, but yeah, soon. Anthony O'Brien, coldest football ground you've ever been to, playing or watching?
Oh, I wish my dad was here to answer that. I had a trial once. On one of my trials when I was at West Ham, one of my early games. My dad was in the stand and he forgot to bring a coat. He got a cold and it was the worst cold he's ever had. And he got 10 days, and I always remember it as when it bitter cold and it just hits you,
Yeah.
it stays with you. Also remember I was on trial at Norwich and the missus up and it was snow and it was meant to be called off because it was a trial game. They went with it. Nigel Worthington was the manager. I was up there and my missus come down. She goes, Jim, I can't feel my feet. It's like blocks of ice. So them two stick out. It weren't me getting cold, but it's the people I was with cold, and it was going through. You got to imagine them games. Well, there's no crowd to heat the stadium, so it's just coming through the side, just crushing you. Free, nothing worse than. But I would say as well, and I know I'm just Stoke on a cold Tuesday night. That's just like, why is it Stoke? I don't know, but it just is. You?
Yeah, weirdly, it's like when I used to do Take It Like a Fan, the quiz.
Yeah.
We were doing it at Stoke on a Saturday, and it started to snow, and we got snowed in, and
Why is it wet to Stoke?
don't know, got snowed in, and didn't get back to London till like 2 a.m, and then the tube sort of stopped about 4 miles from where I lived, and so I got off, but everywhere the snow was so deep and it was so quiet. It was really amazing, like walking back through London.
Right. Okay.
Really quiet and deep snow, and it was just really kind of calm and weird.
Yeah.
So it was really like quite a nice memory in a weird sort of way. But yeah, most football grounds, if you're sitting in a football ground for any period of time, they're freezing. This one from Anonymous. Ooh, mysterious. When are you getting that private investigator on? He sounds like a right legend.
We've got to get him on.
Do you reckon that's him?
Is it from Anonymous?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Should we get him on?
He's good, isn't he? Yeah, let's get him on. Yeah.
'Cause right, I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Should we get him on?
Get him on.
Yeah, okay, let's
Get him on.
Yeah.
Right, we make that happen. If anyone knows how to get hold of him, obviously if he's good at his job, he'll make it very, very
Drives
difficult.
me mad. He wants to come on.
Follow us, subscribe. Follow us and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube too, of course. FC Bullard on the socials. And the email address, as always, Jim, is
fcbullard@crowdnetwork.co.uk.
boom.
Boom shakalaka.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.